Namaste, everyone. It's good to see everyone here. Welcome to our final session as we end our 2025 Asilmar retreat. Who better to end it with our Pravachika Divyanandaprana. So it's so good to see everybody. Um, let's just begin with a chant. You know it? Just let's chant along. Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace to all beings everywhere. So today it's been a long process. When was our retreat? The first week of July, I believe, right? And actually, if you had been with the planning committee, we started this almost probably back in, I think like August or no, maybe September. Subir, right? About September, something like that, September of last year. And so it's been a long time coming. So we appreciate everybody coming today because it is our final session. Maybe we can have another retreat the following year. But I want to tell you that I felt this retreat was just a once in a lifetime gift. I don't know about you guys, but I felt that we just everything that could be done, we tried to do. We just gave it everything. There's nothing else left to give. I felt at least. So all the things that in my mind, the team made it all possible and they materialized it. So it was just, anyways, it was really wonderful. So with all that being said, I do want to welcome our beautiful Pravachika Divyanandaprana. I think her presence has been such a, I don't know, it's just, she came to life and gave heart to our retreat. We had a lot of head, but we also needed the heart. And we also had a lot of this fraternal kind of like energy, but we needed also this maternal instinct. And that's what Pravachika Divyanandaprana, and she's so childlike, she's so sweet. You know, whatever she speaks, she's gonna giggle. You know, she sets you so that you can feel diffuses your energy so you feel at ease. She really makes you feel at ease with who you are and just she accepts you as is. I think that's a great quality. Pravachika, you really have this quality about accepting people as they are, not changing them, not wanting, not looking at a hierarchy, just being with them. You know, I work as a chaplain. I'm being trained my fourth year as a chaplain. I do a lot of chaplaincy. Do you know who I find is the prototype chaplain? We all need an Ishtadevata in our field. Who is our Ishtadevata? For me, if when I look at the perfect chaplain, someone who's considered, someone who listens, someone who makes you feel seen, someone who makes you feel heard, and just by listening, they really kind of like dissolve all your tension and they make you feel loved. They solve your problems not by actually saying much, but they allow you to see, recognize your own challenges and find out your own answers. Do you know who that person is? The Ishta Devata that I think is the ultimate chaplain? Sri Sharada Devi. If you look at her life and see how she's consoled so many different people, it's not about having knowledge up here. She embodies the knowledge, but it's about being able to hold space and allowing people to see for themselves what their challenges are. And she identifies with their problems so much that she absorbs their difficulties and challenges. That's the uniqueness of Sharada Devi. So when we see Mataji, we see a miniature Sharada Devi. So anyways, I don't want to take up any more time. So today is a day for Q&A. And I'm going to open it up to Mataji. And then also, if you have questions, start raising your hands. This is the final day for our Q&A. So anything you want to ask, please do so and feel like this is it. There's nothing else left. Anything comes to your mind, please do so. While you're raising your hands, Um, Mataji, would you like to say anything?
Um, well, I'm just glad and happy to see all of you. And I have very sweet memories of both the Asilomar retreats, really wonderfully organized. And you have a great team, Maharaj. It's really wonderful to see the way y'all are working. And here in India, also, very many people appreciated the retreats because everyone came to know, and the Maharaj, of course, they came to know of it. And it's wonderful the way you're organizing it. And um, definitely, this will have a lot of repercussions, which means effects, very positive effects, because we discussed very many ideas and in the holy presence of sadhus. um, so I think it was a wonderful experience even for me. Thank you for having me there, because for us also this kind of organized effort, it's a it's something beautiful to see, and it was such a lovely place. We got to meet so many of the US devotees and coming from different states and even from outside the US. So it was a wonderful time which we had. In fact, how those 3 4 days went, I just don't know. It went like a few seconds. uh, it was so intense and deep, the whole thing. So thank you so much for having me in these retreats. And I have only Harinamananji to thank for all that he does for us. Jai Ma.
Jama. People tell me they what one thing they love about your laughing yoga. I don't know what you did. I wasn't there. They told me you're in the ocean and they did laughing yoga. So the next time I come, I'll try to attend that one. Next time we have you here. So okay, so let's go ahead and Kavita, why don't you
So, namaste, Mataji. So lovely to see your sweet smile every time. So, my one question was this deep faith in God, that or Shraddha, are we born with it? Or is it is it a personal experience that you have? Which one is it?
You see, these are all deep rooted sanskars, which means deep rooted mental impressions. You are born with it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these sanskars we carry forward, from our past lives, definitely. So it's something inbuilt, but you can also culture them. It's not
Mm-hmm.
that, suppose I don't have any form of faith, and um I just want to bring some faith into my life. It's not that I can't culture them, I can't nurture them now, which means I can adopt certain practices and keep a certain kind of ambience around me so that I develop these sanskars. But I can say uh, the sanskars we bring from the past play a very huge role, because then right from childhood you have a unshaking faith, a kind of deep conviction within yourself about the truth of spirituality, about love for God. So that is a real blessing. But sanskars can be cultured at any time. I hope this satisfied you.
Yes, yeah. So we
I think
You're
she was
muted.
question. Kavita, go ahead and unmute yourself again.
so okay, thank you. And basically we have to do all the sadhana that you have been talking about and make it an intense feeling.
Yes. Every day when you repeat something, see, how do you create a sanskar? This is very important yoga psychology. How do you create these sanskars? When you keep repeating vrittis, the same thing every day, however boring it may appear to you at the moment, still
Mm-hmm.
when you keep on repeating, it sinks deep into the mind, into the subconscious. Now, when you repeat vrittis, they go into the subconscious and become sanskars. This is a very, very important thing in yoga psychology, because even Vedantic sanskars, this capacity to generate deep insight and to attain stillness of mind, to attain clarity with regards to awareness. All this will come only if you have the sanskar backpack. You already have it within you, and at some point of time, it just comes out. So for that, you have to strive. And the more we repeat these vritis, see why I always insist on sadhana is for this. Whether I carry the sanskars with me or not, I can generate it now at any given moment of time if I repeat these practices. Which means, see now japa, for example, the name of God, you keep on repeating, you keep on repeating. It may appear, well, it's a routine thing. Every day I have to keep on chanting it. But when you do it, what happens is the same impressions are falling on the mind again and again. Now, after some time, you'll see this becomes a natural thing. It comes to you naturally. It has gone deep into your subconscious. It changes your very mind. So, this is how sanskars are generated, repetition of vrittis. That's why we say, that religiously doing it. So that the purpose of that is this, generating the right sanskar, because our minds are full of a whole lot of things. Now I have to develop a concentrated life and mind, because spiritual experience comes only to a special kind of mind. I can tell you that. A very clear, pure, childlike mind, innocent mind. There, whether it's Vedant or it's Bhakti, that will really take root in that kind of a mind. So generate that kind of mind through this kind of repeated sattvic activity, the practice, and you'll see it'll work like magic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Swali?
Yeah, Mataji, namaskar. I had a kind of silly question. I feel like I'm trying to reduce any negative vrittis in my mind, avoiding news, avoiding things that would disturb, sadhana practices and maintain positive vrittis. But I feel like I'm developing this sense of avoidance or dvesha towards, trying to avoid putting myself in situations that are negative. How did the Holy Mother deal with all her situation and family and her situations with maintain that peace and keep those vrittis out? Like, how do I avoid dvesha while I'm trying to protect my mental space?
Yeah, right, right. See, the saints only show us this, how we can do it. Because you will see in their lives, like, for example, the life of Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi, such a deep inner balance. And such a pure mind. Even to the person who's causing her a problem, giving her trouble, even to that person, she's so sympathetic towards that person, so compassionate. And just by her presence, I say minds would change. And that is why, those who were closest associates of the Holy Mother, Yoginma and Golakma, you might have, they looked upon her as a goddess. They would tell people that she only looks human, but she is a goddess. So how this comes about is, see, it's not about just replacing thoughts. Our inner bhav, our the inner atmosphere which you maintain, which means the way we think, the way we emote, all of this requires a general purification that comes through sadhana. What happens as a result is, as you keep on performing sadhana, every day you're repeating the same elevated bhavs. Sorry, I use all these words because there are no exact English equivalents. Now, when I use the word bhav, this doesn't have an exact English equivalent. The entire mental disposition should become of that kind. So that now you are in a situation where there is some negativity around you, still you are able to, that bhav will save you. That particular beautiful sentiment only will come to your mind. Besides, you create a kavach around you. When you do spiritual practice, there's a kind of holy vibration around you where very negative energies cannot come. So in various ways we are protected, but there must be that intensity of practice within ourselves. So even if you see the lives of these saints and realized souls, they went through a lot of practice, isn't it? Huh? Even Mother, see, we look upon her, Holy Mother, as the Divine Mother herself, who came for a particular purpose in that very simple guise. She herself has performed so much of Panchatapa and so many types of spiritual practices. Whole life is steeped in spiritual practice. Have you read her life in Dakshineshwar when she first came to Dakshineshwar? She was a girl of 18, and on the in the Nahabat, the way she has done spiritual practice. What need is there for the Divine Mother to do sadhana? Tell me, just to show us that this is the way you can change your own mind and the minds of people around you. Because if you radiate a certain amount of great positivity and nobility from within you, automatically people around you will pick it up. You become a real influencer, not the sham, the pseudo influencers of today, not that kind. The change you bring about within yourself, you will radiate it around you. So, this is what is called, you see, holiness, real positivity. This is a perfect possibility in our lives. Gradually, in by degrees, we change our own, the nature of our own minds, and you can radiate a whole lot of. In fact, this is the number one need of this world. See, knowledge we have in plenty. We know about almost everything because we have applied mind and intelligence to it. But this energy, which can transform, this is very important. Hmm? So every day you hold on to a practice, repeat these things, do this association with great lives, reading every day about them, this Leela Dhyan, what is called, you see, automatically the required changes will come. This is practical spiritual life. Yeah.
Thank you. Himanshu?
Pranam Mataji. Uh, my question is, as with bhakti comes a lot of acceptance and surrender, and chit starts to become the vibhut, as you mentioned.
Mm.
So how does one deal with the wrong and injustice around when, as a nature, you see that you're becoming more forgiving and you want to, give up on things? And I especially want your guidance in context of uh, are people like us who are still toddlers on this path to elevate, and who yet have to get that discernment to be able to get that clarity and handle things around and probably reach a level where you can influence others into nobility and the right bhav. Because there are people who are at times very toxic, who want to do things in a certain manner, and you feel that your dharma, at especially like a workplace, is to do the right thing, to protect people, to do things in a certain manner, but you see that there are people who are influencing because of other uh, reasons. So should you follow your dharma at that time, which is in that workplace, or the dharma for yourself to save yourself from that, and you maybe step away and your bhakti bhav to just accept how they are and you can't influence a change in them? What should be our duty and dharma in this context, and especially if you are in the bhakti path?
Yeah. So what happens in the bhakti path is, due to your practice, you develop a very strong mind within yourself, and a very deep sense of, things should be this way, the sense of right and wrong, and you develop this kind of a discernment, uh, discrimination, vivek. Now, at the workplace, you may see people doing the opposite thing, and there are definitely people who are very negative by nature. So, how do we handle these toxic minds? Do we stick to our own bhav, or we try to influence them? See, the glory of spirituality is if you go deep within yourself, and either you have become now deeply aware or imbued with a divine bhav, now you have become a really powerful mind. This is the glory of spirituality. Now your mind, the the radiation that comes from you is something very, very, very positive and elevated. This mind will now affect the negative mind also. This is a possibility. I have seen it myself. In the presence of a really spiritual holy mind, nobody can think very negative. So, this is a possibility. If you strengthen your own spiritual life, automatically you are going to affect other minds very positively. There is no need of, too much of explanation or too much of argument when it comes to, because the problem with the negative mind is not that they want to be negative, they are just compulsive. They can't help being negative. So our explanations are not going to solve their problems, but our presence can solve their problems if we are imbued with a great amount of sattva. This is what happened in Holy Mother's life. You can see that clearly. A great amount of sattva within yourself, you will hold other minds in place. You will be able to influence them very positively, because they cannot readily make changes within themselves, but they will feel the calmness and the divine presence within you. This is possible. In the workplace, many harsh things can happen. See, to protect our spiritual lives, it is important to, at least morning and evening, you dip into awareness, dip into a divine bhav. This is very important, because then all these harsh realities of actual life, they will not shake us from within. Hmm? See, for me, I can tell you this, even this any kind of exposure to social media or the negative news which news channels are constantly giving, that itself, for many years, I could not take. I was not able to take it. But now, when I have I have sort of understood the nature of the negative mind. They are helpless in what they are doing. I told you, it's a completely compulsive life, and that's why they are themselves are suffering their negativity terribly. So then now a deep compassion comes within us, and then we will definitely try to radiate as much of positivity. If always, you see, knowledge is not the solution. They know very well that they are not doing well and they need to change, but they are unable to change it. That is the problem. So, when this is the situation, you just have to radiate a great amount of positivity through your own practice, and not go about explaining things and all that, because many times that doesn't work in their situation. So, I would say intensify your inner bhav and just compassionately handle these situations. This is what I would recommend. I think all saints have said something like this only, because there is no other way to change the negative mind. Poor thing, they are suffering more than what we are seeing. And the only way is to handle them, deal with it very compassionately.
So basically, not removing yourself from the equation, but being present and probably
Yes,
intensifying and increasing your
yes.
own presence
Right,
for
right,
things to become right and
right.
the influence to come. Thank you
Yes,
so
see,
much.
she's written the Duryodhan symptoms. Janami dharmam nachame pravritim, janami adharmam nachame nivritim. I know dharma, but I can't follow it. That's the problem. Hmm. Yeah.
Thank you. Viva and Internal.
Pranam Mataji. So I want to compare and understand two ideas a little deeply. The first idea, and I've written it down so that I don't, uh,
Mm.
I just say it properly. So the first idea is from your talks at Asilomar, where you mentioned Advait Gyan should lead to Advait Bhav, otherwise it will lead to Advait Vada. And Advait
Yes.
Bhava is nothing but pure divine love. And you
Yes.
also mentioned that according to Bodhasara, duality is an obstacle only to the unawakened mind. And once the mind awakens to the nature of the Lord, who is also of the nature of pure consciousness. So that was the first idea from your talks.
Mm.
And then the second idea is from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, where he says to Bankim Chandra that you cannot have real love, that is Shuddha Bhakti, of God unless you know that God alone is real and all else illusory. So that's kind of the Advaita Vedanta concept. So these are the two ideas that I want to compare and understand more deeply. Are these ideas very similar? And is such a thought uh, unique to Sri Ramakrishna or Ramana Maharshi or the saints who have the Advaita Vedanta background? Would the Vishishta Advaita Bhakta accept this idea?
This is typically Advaitic thinking, that what is real will attract your whole attention and inspire your love. See, suppose uh, your mind acknowledges something to be very temporary, very yeah, the definition of real in spirituality is that which satya is nitya, that which is always existing. That the equation is that will inspire your greatest love. See, obviously, because our mind it thinks in terms of time. When you know that something is really stable, permanent, ever present with you, ever existent, now naturally it will draw your attention, it will inspire your love. But suppose there is something which is just very temporary, very brief. No matter how attractive it is, you are not going to give your invest your energy into it. So, in a way, this Vivek is going to help us a lot. That is why Sri Ramakrishna says that if you clearly discern between the real and the unreal, you will get devotion to God. This is very important. And the first thing which you quoted, it is very true. Advait Jnana. You see, the first person experience, we can't use the word experience, but knowledge you can say of Advait, that there is only one consciousness in through all these appearances, there's only one thing shining. Suppose I get this knowledge, automatically my the way I perceive others should change. Advait Jnana should lead to Advait Bhav. Now, if you see the lives of masters who have realized Advait, this has been their condition, this has been their state of mind, that really difference and this mind-boggling diversity, they are seeing it very differently. I can give you the example of Mahapurush Maharaj, Shivananji Maharaj. He actually, towards the end of his life, very so clearly people could see this. He used to say he had samadhi thrice in his life, and that Brahmagnan, Paripakwa avastha of Brahmagnan could be seen in him. On Guru Purnima day, when people would, he was the president of the Ramakrishna Math for some time. So when devotees would come and bow down to him, he would do prati pranam. He would also bow down to them. And then one of his sevaks told him, Ki Maharaj, you don't have to do that. It is Guru Purnima, so they are uh, bowing down to you. And then he would say, but I see them as Brahman. I don't see them as individuals at all. I see it as Brahman. And that is why he is also bowing down. So this kind of a perception, this kind of it is natural to the real realization of Advait. Whenever you mentioned Raman Maharshi, you read talks with Raman Maharshi, you see it clearly. He was averse to the concept of other. He would always say there are no others. You yourself are being reflected in every mind as their consciousness and appear to be different, but it's the same thing. And that is why you see the deep feeling of empathy or a kind of oneness you can feel in your meditative states and all that. It is due to this, because at the heart it's only one existence. Brahman alone is appearing as all of this. So this is important. Advait Jnana should lead to Advait Bhav. This is what we see in the lives of saints, and not to Advait Vad. Shankaracharya had to indulge in Advaitvad because he had to counter opponents of so many, you see, the Sankhyavadins and the Buddhists and all that. So he had to indulge in Advaitvad. But for us, the realization of Advait should lead to Advait Bhav, and that is supreme love. As I would love myself, I love all beings. Hmm? So that kind of a feeling has to come. And yes, the Dvaitam Mohaya Bodhat Prak Prapte Bodhe Manishaya Bhaktyartham Kalpitam Dvaitam Advaitadapi Sundaram. The realized soul relishes even the Dvaita Bhav because it is no more an obstacle to him. It becomes even more, you see, beautiful and delicious, he's saying, than Advait, because you are positing a duality where there is none. That is the real Bhakti Bhav. So bhakti also has a base in Advait, actually speaking. Love, the greatest love, can only come when there is a perception of non-difference. So all the points you made are very good. Thank you.
Mataji, if you don't mind, can I take just one more minute? So
Yeah.
I think I understand this I understand this at least intellectually from the Advaita standpoint. But I was trying to think from the person who is completely Vaishnava Bhakta, for example,
Mm.
will, for that person, like if I say that I love something that is unchanging in all three times, that doesn't work, right? For them, the reality, they allow the reality to change, because for them, Prakriti is also reality which changes, which transforms. So how will that person take this? Will look at bhakti. Will they come from the grounding of the Advait Bhav?
See, usually in the bhakti path, because we belong to the Ramakrishna order, we are using all of this together. Usually, the bhakti vadins, that is the people who follow the bhakti path, they start only from Sagun Sakar Upasana without any background of Advait. Traditionally, if you actually come to India and see this, the Vaishnavas or the way they worship, the philosophy they follow, it is Achintya Bhedabhed. It is uh, a kind of non-difference, indifference. They really want themselves, the Jiva and Ishvara, to be separate, because then only love is possible with separation. And the goal is, they don't look upon Advaita as the goal. They look upon deep devotion and service to the Lord as the goal of life. Now, the
Yes.
psychological aspect of this will involve, Advait, the perception of Advait. Because when do you actually love a person completely and deeply? Tell me. Somewhere
When you
you will
feel
see
that oneness, complete oneness.
oneness, exactly. When you feel that there is a wonderful similarity, there's something same in both of us, that is when that inspires your love to the highest degree. A feeling of oneness with that person. Huh? The same thing is there. So you see, psychologically speaking, there's a Advait Bhav there. But for the Vaishnava devotee, the their whole tendency is to think of God as apart, and the jiva is separate, and the whole aim is, I want to taste sugar, I want to taste the love of God. They also come to, in the in stages of bhakti, this is described, even Ramanujacharya describes it. They come into states of bhakti where they see this non-difference between my essence and the essence of the Lord.
I
But
see.
still, they want him to be completely apart with divine attributes, and I want to be the jiva. See, when the child grows up, he understands the matru bhav, the motherly love, in a different way. But still, he acts before his mother. He always acts like a child, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
However grown up you are, in front of your mother, you're a child. So, like that, the bhakta becomes like that. Although he understands, he may have had that feeling of oneness with his Ishtadevata, with his Lord, still he wants to remain in his particular bhav. Especially those who do Panchabhav sadhana, no, they stick to that bhav. Even with understanding of Advait, still they say that for the relishment of the bhav, it is required for me to be in this position, and the Lord to be in this position. So they posit the difference and the separation just to enjoy that bhav, which is perfectly valid. You can take up any path. That's the glory of Sri Ramakrishna's message. You can bring all of this together, or you strengthen one particular path, or you just stick to bhakti. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, whether you take up bhakti or jnana, it will lead you to the same goal, because the highest bhakti and the highest knowledge are one and the same thing. And then you can again come back to the dual framework and uh, live with Eta Amar Paka Mat, Thakur says. From the Leela, you go
Yes.
to the Nitya, then you come back to the Leela and enjoy the dual love for God. So it's a beautiful inner life, I would say.
Sorry,
Thank you, Mataji.
Dennis,
Yes.
go.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Oh, yes. I think I'm off mute now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mataji, thank you for spending time with us. Thank you for the retreat. My question is relates to your emphasis on sadhana that you told us about at the retreat. And one of the sadhana practices I have tells me to put my attention on my third eye, and I'm not really sure what that is. I know superficially that it's between your eyes. I don't know if is that a like a subtle organ, or is that a physical thing? And if I were to achieve that practice of putting my attention on my third eye, what would it feel like, or what would I be doing? What would I be concentrating on it? Would I be directing love towards it? Is it a channel from God? I just don't know what it is. It isn't something I grew up with.
Hmm. So it's a yogic technique, concentration on the Agnya Chakra, the third eye, which is supposed to be between our eyebrows. So, see, yogically speaking, it is one of the direct paths to the deepest awareness. Because Agnya Chakra, if you actually study the yogic paradigm, you'll see concentration here can take you very well into deep awareness. And it is also that, this kind of a concentration requires a certain raising of our entire vital energy. So that's why yogis use the Agnya Chakra. But the fundamentals of yoga require a absolutely sattvic, pure life. If that is not met with, you are just playing with fire when you concentrate on the higher chakras. I can tell you this. That's why the safest way to practice yoga then is concentration on the heart center. Holy Mother Shishada Devi always recommended this. So we will use the same thing. What we do is you raise your energies to the heart center, concentrate on either a divine symbol or just light or whatever the Atman you want to imagine, whatever, but concentrate it on at the heart center. Put your attention on the heart center. It is the safe spot.
Okay.
Yeah, because the real practice and raising of, vital energy to the Agnya Chakra requires a lot of preliminary practice. And most of all, the fundamentals of yoga are to be satisfied for that. Which are yam, niyam, those, very good establishment in them. And then you can do that.
Okay. Thank you. Good advice.
Yeah. Practically, this is how it is advised, that you start with the heart center. You see, when you are concentrating at the heart center also, you will unfold higher awareness. That awareness itself will teach you how you should proceed. Yeah.
Yes.
This is Holy Mother's advice. Yeah.
Thank you.
Subhash? Gonna unmute yourself? Yes.
Yes.
Subhash,
Thank you,
nice to have
Mataji.
your darshan. Can we, if it's okay, it's good to see your darshan. We can see.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. I'm actually in India attending a Bhagavad Saptaha
Okay.
arrangement. Yeah, so I'm fortunate that I was not sure I'll be able to join, but I can join for some time. I have to take off shortly. My question was, and I asked you earlier also, I think, and you said you're referring me to a video that was going to come out. It did not come out. But most of people who do japa, and especially me, tends to be mechanical. And how do you try to get it deeper and deeper so that you lose yourself in it? So that was one questions. I'll ask another one later on, but I think you addressed that in the earlier answers. So
Yeah.
this is my question.
Yes. How to deepen japa? The japa technique has to be in consonance with pranic energy. I don't know how to exactly to put it, but see, when you are repeating the divine name, the nature of the mind is it is restless. The nature of our pranic energy is it is scattered. Naturally, the japa, you're doing it with effort and it becomes mechanical. But if you gather your energies and somehow calm the mind, through practice only all this is possible, then your practice of japa, now it is aligned to the flow of prana within you. Then only concentration really develops and you reach the very depths of the what the japa mantra is, you see, indicating. The japa can reveal reality only when it is done in consonance with pran, your pranic energy. That's why you see in so many other techniques, they say combining it with your breathing and all that. But the simple thing I can tell you is, if prana is flowing in a particular way in our system, and you have started performing japa, you're aligning the japa to this kind of a awakened energy within you. Now the japa will yield fruit. It will immediately take you in deeply concentrated state. Not just that, it will yield the fruit of japa. What exactly? So that video is all about japa video. Have you seen that one? All about japa?
No.
Please see that one on Vivek Vani. A lot of information has been put into that video. So according to this mantra shastra, the japa yields fruit, but then it must be aligned to your prana. Because it's not just about repetition, it is about your entire energy getting involved in the process of doing the japa. Now the energy of God and your energy are combined, and it is that is when japa just deepens. You get so much joy in the name of God. The beauty of japa is it can be done, it can be easily done, and it is the name of the beloved. So then how beautiful it must be to constantly keep taking the name of the beloved. Love is generated. You get a totally pure feeling from within, and your pranic energy is moving in a particular way, and the name of God is with you. Now it causes rapture. You get completely absorbed in it. There is pulak. The whole body sort of enjoys the japa. So try to achieve these states. These are all the real saving states of spiritual life, because now we develop taste for God's name, the higher taste. Now automatically the lower taste will go. See, in the bhakti marga, you overcome lower tendencies by the higher tendencies which you develop through bhakti. There is no stern vivek and putting something aside and running away from it. No, you just develop the higher taste, automatically the lower taste falls. So that is the bhakti mark. When you get ruchi for God's name, see, Sri Ramakrishna also used to say this. Ruchi means taste. Name ruchi. That is the sanskar we have to develop through japa. So then when the beloved's name comes into the heart, that itself is enough. It's the satiation you get through love, deep inner love. The satisfaction which we get, you can get it through japa. Only it should harmonize with the pran. How to do this, you have to discover yourself. Because, see, if our pranic energy is totally scattered, then the mind is restless and it doesn't sit, and then your japa becomes mechanical. But if the pranic energy is flowing in a particular way, and you combine it with the japa mantra, now there is magic within you. You remain absorbed within. So just watch that video all about japa.
They recommend doing the breathing before you even start the japa. So
Yes.
that helps
Regulated breathing, yes. Regulated deep breathing is compulsory before your practice begins. This is very important. Naturally, you will bring yourself into a particular frame of mind, and then maybe you can even do japa looking at your Ishta Devata, something like that. It's not just a matter of will. It is about developing preeti, what is called deep inner love for the deity. See, after a certain age, we all understand this, isn't it? The love of God is the cream of human experience. So if that preeti is there towards the deity, towards the chosen ideal, naturally taking his name is a delight. Preeti itself comes when there is a great regulation of vital energy within.
So is there a recommended time? How long do you do breathing, the deep breathing?
If you have time, see, japa, my guru used to say, Ranganathanji Maharaj, such a great Advaitin, but he would say, The more japa you do, the more you will develop love for Sri Ramakrishna. He would say this. So as much time as you can give. After all, it's the name of the Lord. You see, our minds, the problem is our minds are so restless. Our mind believes in jumping from idea to idea, and it calls it knowledge. That is not knowledge.
Right.
Knowledge is when you
No.
deepen attention to such an extent, awareness has come, blossomed forth. Now that is knowledge. Once you have this experience, you will see the practice is more important than flitting from idea to idea, meditation to meditation. Am I making sense?
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, how long you do the breathing to quieten the mind, it depends on person to person.
Breathing, you don't have to concentrate much. Maybe the first 2-3 minutes of the japa practice, you can regulate your breathing. That's all I recommend. Pranayam. People will give you so many types of pranayam, but all that we recommend is deep breathing, so that a kind of stillness comes into your heart. You gather your vital energies, and then you perform the japa. See, these things have to be intensely done. You will see after some time, the whole mind and our intellect faculty, they all have aligned with the practice. Otherwise, they will keep flitting from thought to thought, and you will call that knowledge. Awareness, spiritual life is about awareness, not about intellectual activity. Other spheres of life you can employ the intellect, but when it comes to spiritual life, somewhere the intellect also is to be absorbed into awareness. So the practice becomes important then.
Thank you, Britt.
Mataji, I just want to inject one question here that I get often commonly asked. That is, how much emphasis should be put into the meaning of the mantra? So as they're doing the japa, the meaning, because also, can that take you into the mental construct? As you're saying, you want to dissolve into awareness. So you don't want so much mental activity. So what do you say when people say, how much emphasis should I put into the meaning of each, as I do the mantra, the mystic syllables there?
Right. The meaning of the mantra which we receive is actually the Sankhya meaning. It is that both the pure being indicated by Om and that which is indicated by the Bijakshara of the deity, they are both that same Ishtadevata only, that is your chosen deity only. Now, when the meaning is so profound, just the repetition of the mantra will take you into an experience of unity. I have seen this. From time to time, the mind may want to reflect on the meaning of the mantra, but still you should stick to the practice in such a way. Now it is becoming sphuran within you. See, in a sadhu's life, towards the end of the day, the japa must turn into japa sphuran. So then, before you retire at night, the sphuran is going on. Now the realization of the mantra, or whatever the mantra indicates, the meaning will be perfectly clear in your mind. You don't have to dwell through a thought process. You just have to do the practice. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Because we are all very cerebral beings. We believe in thinking.
Yes.
But here, in the entire yogic paradigm, even in Vedanta, yoga is the base for Vedanta. Please know this. It's not that Sankhya leads you somewhere and Advait will lead you somewhere else. Why did Swamiji recommend these 4 yogas? For the simple reason that gradually they will bring you into pure awareness only. But because our mind is of this nature, it is restless, it is usually, we believe in thinking. So then when you intensify the practice, the meaning which the japa mantra reveals, you will not get that meaning by just cogitating over it. So the practice yields deeper meaning and the actual meaning of what the mantra indicates. So you must deepen the practice. That's the thing.
Would you say the meaning then gets sort of absorbed into a feeling? So it's
yes,
not verbal.
The feeling is the essential thing. Exactly.
Right. Yes.
The feeling is the essential thing, and you will see the heart of that feeling is awareness only.
Right. Yes.
Japa leads into pure awareness. Thought will not lead you to pure awareness.
Right. Yes.
Thought is a trap. See, there is a one saying in, I don't know, one of the scriptures, this comes that you see logic, rational thinking, and the way we are usually thinking of even Advait Jnana, that is okay for an unconvinced mind or for a mind which has not yet deep conviction about the nature of the goal. But once that conviction is generated, now Tattva Darshi you want to become. You actually want to enter into, you'll immediately understand this is of the nature of being and not knowing the goal. The goal is of the nature of being. Now, when you understand this, immediately you will see that then the method is about absorption.
Right.
It is not just a thought process.
Right.
And so that Tattvadarshi, to become a Tattvadarshi, then you require dhyan. You require immediately the Nididhyasan component. Nididhyasan and dhyan have the same root, dhyayi dhatu, which means absorption. When does my mind become deeply absorbed? That state, that is the most precious thing. You see, awareness blossoms forth completely in that state. So then how to attain that? So then the practice becomes important. Not just thinking about the practice, but the actual practice.
In this sense, I would say then the transition from manana to nidhyasana.
Yes.
That
yes,
is what,
exactly.
and so the absorption comes, as you said, in nidhyasana. So, and that feeling that you as
Exactly.
illumination comes in once you embody. That's the pragya,
Yes.
the embodied state here. That transition, thinking, manana,
Yes.
nidhyasana, absorption.
Yes. You know, only Shravan works for whom? For whom Nididhyasan has been realized. Now they are so sensitive to the actual state of pure being that then Shravan alone suffices to make them enter into that being. But for us, you see, ordinary people, we require the entire practice, especially the beauty of Nididhyasan, deep absorption into the self or into love for God. This is something you can't compare any state of mind with this. If this is there, then you can place things rightly in your life. You give things the importance they deserve. Real vivek will come. But if absorption only has not happened within, how will you realize the relative importance of things? Real vivek comes when you have tasted both sides, isn't it? So see how you can remain absorbed in japa, in meditation, in spiritual practice, absorbed in the love of God, in deep awareness. These states are to be replicated again and again and again until they become solid sanskars. And now I'm telling you about the deep spiritual life. And now, then you see, when the sanskars are well established, Shravanat Eva Jnana, then you can say just the hearing of the Mahavakya is putting you into that.
Yeah.
So cultivation of the real deep bhakti and jnana sanskars, this is the preliminary of spiritual life.
Thank you. Priya, go ahead.
Param Mataji, good to
Namaste.
see you.
How are you, dear?
I am well, thank you. I have a question about practice for everything that you are saying, right? In order to get the deep absorption or that practice of deep awareness, how do we use the meditation on the form that you had discussed at Asilomar on day 3? So when and how to do it? Because meditation on form can mean different things. It's ideas and teachings of Thakur or the incidences of life of Thakur or just his own being when he was practicing and his desire to know God.
Right.
So even though none of this is a substitution for our own practice and our own meditation, sometimes our methods are just very ineffective. So it doesn't help much to think of his life as a person, because then our mind keeps dwelling on mundane aspects of that. So how can we think of his form that will help us get his own sword of discrimination to cut out the non-essential and get to that depth?
See, you should know one important law of love. How do you fall in love with the Lord. Do you know, this is not a very discussed topic, but when you concentrate deeply on something, you fall in love with that thing. This is what happens between mother and child. You can see this clearly. Every day concentrating on that baby in every possible way, all the time the child is in front of her. Now the attachment becomes extremely deep. So focus, concentration, anything you apply mind to, you draw it into yourself. It will become your own. Same thing applies when you concentrate on the sakar, that is the form of God. Today it may be distasteful, my mind is flitting, I'm not able to maintain concentration. But as I keep on doing the technique, you see, the more mind you apply, that's why the definition of tapasya in this Hindu heritage is application of mind is tapasya. You apply mind, apply attention, and gradually you see, start loving that form. You start seeing something else there. See, the way we look upon Thakur, and a man on the street is not going to look at him like that. He appears like a human being to that person. But we are like when a person like, say, Bhajananandji thinks of Sri Ramakrishna, he seeks light there, the light of Brahman. Thakur is the direct conduit to the highest consciousness. So how is this drishti coming? How is this possible? Through repeated practice of concentration, meditation on sakar, the form of God, because their form was not an ordinary human form. It was suffused with divine consciousness. They are radiant with that divine awareness, consciousness, whatever you call it. Brahman personified is the avatar. So concentrating on that form which has Vishishta Urjita Sattva will bring that Sattva into our own mind. It changes the ways of our mind. And the concentration will produce deep love, deep attraction. Now you're so attracted to the Ishta Devata that other attractions will fall automatically. So this is how love is generated. That is why when you ask, how do I develop bhakti? You see, the standard answer which sadhus will give you is meditate. Meditate on his form, meditate on his leela. Think about it. And automatically the opposite of that will fall away from you. You don't have to run away from it. It will appear distasteful, meaningless, because you have found the real meaning, the essence of bhakti here. So to be able to taste every day the love of God, that is the real treasure of the spiritual life. Every day I dip into this. It's like Ganga Snan. You're purifying the mind every day. Morning you meditate on him and tears came to your eyes. And evening, I told you, the japa mantra sfuran is happening within you. That much practice has happened throughout. Now you will feel the real fulfillment of spiritual life. These are all the higher possibilities of the spiritual life. If we allow other forms to attract our mind or simply attention flitting from one thing to the other, you will lose this. See, this is the glory of Vivek and Vairagya, When we have the divine form of the Lord to meditate upon, if I concentrate on some other form, or if some other form grips my mind, it is a sheer waste of attention and energy, isn't it? This will go automatically as you keep up the practice. Usually this is what is happening. Other forms are competing in your mind with the divine form. Whole day exposure to so many media channels and so many things, and other things are occupying your mind. So then the taste for God, and somehow forcefully you're sitting for sadhana. No. As sadhana intensifies, this divine form occupies you completely. Any other form is tasteless before this, meaningless. There's a world of difference between the human and the divine. The very nature of the divine is it enraptures the human heart. So meditate on the form and he will do this for you. This is the gift you get by Sagun Sakar Upasana. But this is how bhakti is generated. This is the bhakti mark. The form becomes so dear You know, we do so much of Advait, but I'm telling you frankly, at least me, I'm telling you, I stick to puja. Every day I do puja. I never leave it. Every day dwelling on the divine form, making offerings to him. Whether I am given to do puja in the ashram or not, because only one person can do the puja in an ashram. We have our own. I keep to the puja because from early age we have seen and been doing all this. I can't let go of it. Every day, this kind of a interaction with the Lord in front of you, and offering him, it fills the heart with so much joy in the morning. You do it for 15-20 minutes. Patram pushpam phalam toyam, he says. Offer me one flower, one leaf with your whole heart. And you see the impact it has on your mind. These are the ways to develop bhakti. You do an arti, for those few minutes, you're absorbed in the image of the Lord. So keep all this in your homes. Don't think I will think my way out of this Maya into liberation. No, no, no. You require all these accessories. Keep all this at home. I'm telling you, even the great Shankar Mutt, the monks of the Advaita tradition, you know, morning 4 hours of Chandramaulishwar Puja. 4 hours they worship Lord Shiva. And the whole day goes in that deep dive into Upanishads and meditations. And what to speak of us? You must keep all this around you. Then only real insight into Advaita Jnana, all this is possible.
Thank you. Tamara?
Pranams, Mataji.
Namaste.
Namaste. I have been practicing the Om Namah Shivaya meditation that you did at the retreat. And the it feels the breathing and the tone and the relation to space are all part of that. And if you can speak to any further instruction or allow it to be heard here again, that would be lovely.
See, when you practice any form of this kind of meditation, you repeat a mantra and now your attention is completely absorbed there. You see, one of the effects of this kind of a deep practice is now, after some time, you are hearing the mantra and not repeating it. It's just welling up from within you. This is what is called Sfuran, the reverberation of the divine name from within our hearts. Now, if you actually observe that state of mind, you will see you have become deeply aware. Not aware of something. The mantra is welling up from within you, and there's a divine feeling created in your heart. You feel the warmth of it, you feel the beauty of it, and you're deeply aware. This is the state of mind, very important. That is the purpose of all spiritual practice. But you should remember this, the mind is not going to reveal the ultimate truth. Because your mind does not hold the ultimate truth. But it will make way to transcend itself. When you experience states like these, what happens is the mind gets purified completely. Completely purified of all. The only obstacles are of spiritual life are our negative sanskars. Once it is purified of all this, that mind has become transparent, pure. Now it will reflect the light of the Atman completely. It doesn't reveal, it just moves aside. The truth of pure being is ever present even now. But a practice will help you unfold, see it. Otherwise, although present just now, we are not able to see it. That is why all you have to do is stick to the practice. Yes. Yes. Deepen the practice, relish the practice, love the practice, make it your all in all, prioritize it in your life, stick to it, and you see, sadhana se siddhi. It will reveal the highest. You don't require mind to reveal the self, but the nature of the mind changes as you keep up the practice, and that is how the self is revealed. This stupid mind of ours taking us for a ride all the time, this will simply move aside. The very sanskars will change. You know, even a good, pure mind gives so much joy, so much happiness. Then what to speak of the mind which is totally pure? Yes.
Thank you, Tamara. Usha, go ahead. Sorry, Usha. Usha, unmute yourself.
Hello, Mataji. This is Usha. My question is related to the japa that I was initiated at a very young age in my teens. I got some puja, manasira puja mantras, and I've been doing it for a while with a lot of obstacles, but I've been continuing for a while. And now I have some chronic illnesses that makes it very difficult to do. Sometimes it involves having to do it at night. That's a question of impurity, having to shower, wear clean clothes. So I'm trying very hard to do as much practice as possible. The japa and the puja itself is very short, but sometimes the preparation for it, making sure, I'm able to shower and get dressed and get it all done is the hard part. And having family, taking care, making sure I have good food, doing whatever I need to do for my health takes up a lot of time. How much, my question is, how much is cleanliness an important thing? I mean, meaning clean clothes and showering. And how much is doing japa in bed or while showering or I have a dedicated puja room and a lot of accompanying things, having to do, I don't do the abhishekam as I'm supposed to do. And I have yantras and stuff that I was given. I just have a lot of guilt associated with it.
See, when you are in a situation when maybe you are not able to do as much as you would want to do, pray with tears in your eyes to the Lord. He listens to our heart's prayer, not to all the things you will offer him or whatever you would do. He listens to our heart's prayer. So cry to him and tell him, oh Lord, purify my mind. Make my mind one pointed towards you. Keep me in your bhav. Pray to him. And regarding this Shuddhi for puja and all this, see, at the time of your interaction, your this thing, puja of the Lord, you must feel pure and good. That is the most important thing. That is why all these, you see, the rules that you have to take a bath and then do it and put Ganga Jal or whatever rules are there, they are meant for this. A pure feeling should come into our hearts before we approach the Lord. So keep up that. You see, purity is at the heart of the whole thing. I'm telling you. The whole point in spiritual life is the body-mind complex has to be trained in a particular way so that it becomes fit for the realization of who we truly are. We have strayed away from our own nature. Now to bring it back into that is all. So all this is kind of sentimentally induced through practices like these. So whatever you can, you do. What you can't, pray for it. Make the Lord your own. Can I do japa during shower? You can do japa during shower, but you should remember this, that when you do it in a particular space, in a particular way, it will have the real impact on your heart. And spiritual practices have to be done in a pure space, not just anywhere. So keep to all this. The name of the Lord must be on your lips. Yes, no matter what, where. But the practice of the japa, do it in your puja room, in a particular place, in a particular way, as far as possible. If you're not able to do that, there are aches and pains all over. Pray to Him. Keep the mind on Him. Smaran manan. When you can't do intense spiritual practice, you're still thinking of Him. Read about Him, talk about Him. In your own family, you can become that central point where everybody finds peace. They find spiritual inspiration. In fact, this is the way to maintain the household. For all householder devotees, we say that the main purpose of the home is to instill great sanskars into the upcoming generation, isn't it? Create such an ambience at home that your children pick it up unconsciously. This is for every mother to do this. This is the greatest gift you'll be giving them. So don't think, oh, now I'm not able to do anything, my life is wasted. No. You lead such a life, inner life, that it is creating the positive atmosphere in your home. It's impacting the minds of others. And don't dwell so much on bodily trouble. See, aches and pains are all part of life. What to do? They come and they'll go also. We are all, it's good to remember at these times that we are the self, a spark of that infinite one. I am of the nature of the Lord in my essence. And this is just temporary. Body is there, so aches and pains might be there, but then it will also go. Yes. Don't be bogged down by it, or don't allow it to completely, occupy your mind.
What
Yeah.
would you say,
We must.
Sam, that maybe the most important thing is yearning. So whether sometimes you don't have, if you don't have the time, not to feel guilt, not to feel like Usha is expressing a certain amount of guilt. So would you say it's if the yearning is there, then in the shower, go ahead, do your job. I mean, what's more important is the yearning, is it not? And then to alleviate the guilt that she feels sometimes if she cannot do all the proper things that she needs to do. But yearning is mostly, right?
Yes, true. Yearning, prayer, these are the most important. He will look at this, not what you didn't do for him. He is the God of love. In bhakti, no, God is the God of love. He is like a parent. So is parent going to search for mistakes in his little child? So don't feel unnecessarily guilty and this guilt and all, these are all mechanisms the mind uses to put down our energies. So shake it off. You belong to the Lord always. Believe in this.
Thank you.
Ramya, go ahead.
Hello, good morning or good evening, Mataji. I have a question for you because you're so good at organizing our psychological minds. We or I am good at organizing my day. So, I have time for maybe a little japa here, a little bit of actual worship, which is very tiny. And then some meditation, and then some hearing of good things. What I want to know is breaking that into practice is hard, number one. Number two, how do I keep track of how I'm progressing, Because I recently, after Navaratri, finally, I grew up, my Ishtadevata has been with me for a long time. And I come from a family that didn't do a lot of Shaiva stuff, Shakti Bhakti. And this Navaratri, I've fallen in love with Mata, Durga Mata, and I'm learning the Durga Suktam in the car, and I drive a lot. So it's always going, I'm learning it, I'm learning the Sanskrit, I'm learning the meaning. But if somebody cuts me off, the first thing that comes out of my mouth is something foul, and then I'll say, why must my other being be such a foul creature? So, I mean, I'm still saying you are part of me. You're being an hole. I don't understand why you do that to me. That is the highest I've gone in practice of saying everybody is me. But the first thing that comes out is something foul. I'm just like, when and how do I put myself on a time schedule to say, you need to reach that mark where you are at a practice level of truly practicing 50-60% rather than just thinking buddy is part of you and trying to be loving. You know what I mean? I have the Durga Stuktam right there, you know, in my ear, and somebody cuts me off. I come out of that. I'm in tears because I'm in love with just that thought of her and what she can do for. But somebody cuts you off. The first thing, unfortunately, that comes out of the mouth and the mind is something foul, right? So I'm like, in my other lives, you know, in our other lives, we have, you know, ways of keeping track of our progress with projects, with skills, and reaching certain goals. How do you do that in spiritual life and say, you know, by next year, I should not be able to, I need to not say something foul when somebody cuts me off? How do you get there?
These are all habits of mind, huh? But you know, usually, if you come to India, before they talk about the Atman and consciousness, they will first uh, establish you in the science of mind control and prana, understanding of prana, this pranic mechanism within us, and mind, and then comes self knowledge. So usually now what we are doing is many times through YouTube talks and all, discussing Advait, the highest self-knowledge, without training mind and prana. So then we have all these kinds of problems in everyday life. The whole point is this. See, what you're calling a family around you, each one is a soul in evolution. And family is a pranic tangle, which means now your prana has got invested into 3-4 other beings. Now, whatever they say or whatever they do is going to affect your prana, because your prana is invested in all of them. That's what you call a family. So then whatever they are going to do, it's going to affect you. Now, how do I say, oh, I keep my mind away from it and anybody is making me feel bad, still I will not utter anything? No. Your pranic energy is there in that person. Maybe it's your own son and he says something which you don't like. He does something which you don't like, and definitely it's going to affect you. So then how do I gather my pran Shakti? How do I then stabilize my mind? If as long as our prana is in 4 other people, those 4 people are going to affect me, whether I like it or not. In a very deep way, whatever they do, whatever they think. See, a child is, as you know, it's a 20-25 year full-time project. Throughout his life, he's going to affect you. Yes. And for 20-25 years, he's deeply going to affect you. So then how do I handle this? So that's why the technique taught in see all these spiritual traditions is everyday withdrawal of prana into the heart, paying attention to your spiritual goal in such a way every day you are drawing prana into your heart center and concentrating your entire energy on the Lord, because your very family is his blessing. It is his your own life is connected to 4 other lives. That is his blessing in your life. So now what you do is you concentrate on the Lord in such a way that everybody else appears like a prasad, his prasad to you. Now, whatever they do, whatever they think, this is the way we divinize life slowly, you know. Whatever they do, still you are able to accept it. Well, I created it, it's my responsibility. And now I have joined the whole thing with the Lord. It's all part of life. Now you accept it. So there are no strong negative feelings, no retaliation, no anger. Such things can be avoided. Somehow you bring a divine bhav into the entire thing. This is how gradually we can divinize human relationships also in our life. Because I told you, your pran is in 4 people. Now everything they do is going to affect you. whether you like it or not, whether you admit it or not. Yes. So a daily practice will help you bring pran again back into yourself, into your heart center, and through the love of God, you start forming a very beautiful relationship with everyone around you. Family relationships can be divinized. What is the proof that I'm progressing in spiritual life? The amount of joy I feel within myself. Not that somebody has to come into my life to make it happy. Not that I require a gadget to keep me engaged and entertained. No, no, no. By myself, do I feel this bubbling of inner joy? Do I feel restful within myself? Is my mind constantly imbued with divine bhav? Do I go deep into absorption when I sit for spiritual practice? This is the measure of spiritual growth. And the proof is your outer behavior. The proof is your attitudes of mind, your habits of mind. Always positive. Always, you're a high energy person now. You can lift others' energies. And absolutely positive. You can't believe in negativity if you love the Lord. Will you believe in Asuric forces? Tell me. The love of God is so great a force that it will put down all negativity. You have this deep inner faith that I am in blessed hands. So you see, these are all the greatest blessings of life. Deep bhakti, your energies are in your hands. You have a amity with everyone around you. No clashing, no harsh emotions, no harsh words. Deep inner balance and absorption in spiritual practice. This is the measure of spiritual growth.
Follow up on that. Two things. The bhava part, can you explain that? I know it's inexplicable, that bhava. So when I'm sitting there and with my true ishtam, I love it. And I hate being interrupted. I hate going out and doing other things. There are certain things I just completely don't do anymore. But it doesn't transfer. I'm finding that hard to feel that same prema for other people. And that bhava to carry. What is this bhava that you carry in to divinize the world around you?
So bhava, actually bhava means the entire mental emotional disposition. Not just one thought or one emotion. Your entire inner ambience which you carry. That is your bhav. Now, if there is this is what happens with bhakti, a bhav comes into the mind. That in that bhav, you are able to accommodate all kinds of minds. Otherwise, you will repel them. Once you feel a certain taste for divine things, human things will be left out. But no, when I've developed the real divine bhav, I find a place for everyone. Because these poor souls who are not able to give out any positivity are suffering more their negativity than the people in front of them. Knowing this, you have a place for everyone. See, this is the real Matra Bhav. We have the wonderful example of Holy Mother. In our own homes, we have seen our mothers and grandmothers like this. I tell you, I had a grandmother who was a saint. And we never realized, because she was so simple and so homely type, we never realized we were living with a saint. And now we realize it because her every action, every reaction, response, and her entire bhav, her feeling for others within her, so utterly pure and divine. So you see, now this person is contributing hugely to the energy of the whole family and to the entire mental ambience in the family. Isn't it a great contribution? Tell me. This is what is meant by bhav. The kinds of emotions we encourage in our own minds is going to create the atmosphere not only within ourselves but around us. That is going to impact the people, first in your family, in your community, and then all over. So this is a huge contribution. Everything begins from the self. Please remember, the kind of mental thoughts we have, the emotions we have, is going to generate our mental bhav. So refine that, purify that, divinize that, and you'll see automatically things start working for you. because this is the way of the universe. The kind of state I will maintain within myself, you know, you will find your rapport or
So you
resonance.
just reframe. Yeah. So
Yes.
you're reframing even bad behavior just becomes not a big deal. It is,
Yes.
you know, something
Yes.
that they're
Yes.
doing. They don't understand the full consequences of, or maybe they do, but it doesn't bother me.
Yes. See, somebody shouts at you. Well, what to do? That mind is in a negative state. Shouldn't we sympathize with that mind, or would you shout back? Tell me. When that mind itself is suffering so much, what should be my attitude? See, this sense will naturally come into us. Otherwise, retaliation and shouting back is a easy thing to do. But a suffering mind, now you should sympathize. Now you accommodate that mind within yourself. Tomorrow, that very mind seeing you will change.
Thank you, Mataji. You are one of the matra bhavas for us to follow too. Thank you so much.
We all get the inspiration from Holy Mother, because that is really the silent, saintly life lived to perfection. The Divine Mother in her most sattvic aspect, I would say.
So it's now over an hour and a half. I promise Mataji will be 1 hour. So I'm gonna have to cut the Q&A. So because I saw Shwayam. So I'm sorry, Shwayam. So these Seema and Chattopadhyay and Shwayam, I saw her asking. So I'm sorry, I have to cut it off. Then Anup, and we'll have to do next time, okay, Ravati? I'm sorry, but we have to cut our time now. Because I told her an hour. So go ahead, Seema, go ahead.
Pranam Mataji and Pranam Swamiji. Going along with what she was saying and earlier, what you had said, Mataji, that accommodating people who are you know, behaving in non-sattvic ways. And so that reminds me of a little bit of spiritual exploitation that can happen when you try to accommodate them and they repeat the same thing. So in this Kali Yuga, wouldn't it be wise a little bit to employ the parable of the monk and the snake?
Yeah. Yeah, yes. Yes, in cases where really it's a snake out there, you have to, you have to handle it a little differently. Usually what is happening is that people who are whatever toxic or behaving badly are under a lot of pressure from their own compulsive tendencies to behave the way they do. So that you have to handle sympathetically. But where you find people actually wanting to come and harm you, bite you, there what we do is hiss but don't bite, as Thakur used to say. Show your inner strength. And there are ways to do that. So show that and just depend on the Lord. Yeah, give you the courage to face the situation. Yeah.
Thank
You have
you.
muted yourself.
No, I muted his noise background. Okay, so I want to go to the next question. Thank you, Seema, because our time is limited. Picha Tapatyay, go ahead and unmute yourself. Sorry.
Yes, humble pranams to you, Mataji, and good morning from New Delhi, and greetings for the auspicious day of Swami Vivekanandaji's birthday tithi today. So my question is just two, but I don't know whether they have time or not. But the thing is, you have been talking about the spiritual heart. So the concentration of the spiritual heart, but the spirit, how to practically how to where it is located, like physically where it is located, the spiritual heart. And my personal experience is that whenever I try to concentrate, or in Bengali, let's say Jagrota. So when I try to concentrate, I always feel a sensation here, not here. So how do I go about it? How to bring it from talk to the heart. So that is the first question. And second question is that the thoughts are created by the previous sanskaras. So, but the sanskaras is also created by the scenes, whatever I see around. So the thing is, I have not seen Operation Sindoor in my any life, but it comes in front of me. How that things are coming and how the thoughts are generated. So this is the two questions I have.
Hmm. So the first question is, why is it easy for many of us to concentrate at the Agnya Chakra? For the simple reason, we are thinking intellectual beings and very cerebral. So the attention naturally sort of goes there. But why the heart center is recommended in spiritual practice is for the simple reason we are also emotional beings, and a large part of our lives are emotions. And so, when you concentrate on the heart center, you bring even your emotional life into the paradigm. And the simple thing is, your Ishta Devata is something you are relating with through your heart, isn't it? So, then the heart center works magically. Hmm? This is more to do with when for formless meditation. But we are usually given a form and a name and a mantra. So then the heart center is the place to do that. And secondly, as I said, as you go up the chakras, the higher up you go, the more discipline should be there in life, especially the yam niyam disciplines. If that is not there, this thing you're playing with fire, as I said. So then better it's a safe spot is the heart. Considering all these things, it has been recommended. And when Holy Mother has made the recommendation, I think we shouldn't think twice. She will only tell her children what is best for them, isn't it? Hmm? She has recommended the heart center, so stick to the heart center. Secondly, we are gathering sanskars all the time, as you said. Huh? So then how do we process them and how is it going to work for us? That is why in spiritual life, it's the directed life. See, it's easy to say, eyes closed, you see God, eyes open, also, you see God. But a whole lot of things have to happen if I have to see God with open eyes. What has to happen? I must have divinized my inner life, first of all. So that even when I see a very negative person, I'm able to see God there and not his mind. Hmm? So, for that to happen, a lot of practice is required. And that is why the initial practice itself means, first of all, you build your inner life. You build your inner life, generate the very special, positive, sattvic sanskars within your mind through the right exposures. See, this is what sadhana means. Our whole life, we have been collecting all kinds of impressions from the outside world. Naturally, our mind is functioning the way it is today. Now, gradually, we bring in only sattvic stuff, a regulated lifestyle, a sattvic lifestyle. So, thoughts start changing, emotions start changing, then you repeat them, your impressions, sanskars start changing. So, now gradually, I'm divinizing my inner life. As we go on doing that, you'll see we get a capacity to handle the outside also. And when I myself am able to unfold my own divinity, I will be able to see the divine in all beings. But if I myself am uncultured within myself, do you think I can open my eyes and see God everywhere? Hmm? I will see only good and bad and right and wrong and this person and that person. I will see only this much. So all change starts from within ourselves. That is why the importance of then intensifying the inner spiritual life. One fine day when you open your eyes, indeed you will see it is the light of God alone that is shining everywhere. Uske liye I must first become a saint. My own consciousness should transform first, and then I will behold divinity everywhere. This is the answer. We don't have much time, so we I think need to go fast.
Okay, thank you. Swayam, I know you were waiting, and then go ahead, ask your question.
Pranam Mataji. I have sort of stumbled upon a way, you can say, to improve my focus during my japa. And I wanted to check with you if this would help me deepen it more. So when I remember the way that I came to the order in my late 50s, how I was introduced to Thakur and the Ramakrishna order. Um, after so many other avenues, I've filled with gratitude, not in an egoistic way, but sincerely that Thakur opened the door for me and invited me. And I need to respond to that invitation, and that gratitude spills into a fondness, and I'm able to connect more. And is that something that, if I continue, will lead me into a deeper state of love for Thakur and the divine?
Yes, definitely. See, gratitude is very much part of the mature life. That you have understood this, that my coming into this fold, this community, the Ramakrishna order, has elevated my consciousness. When you have understood this and this feeling of gratitude has come into you, maintain it. Gratitude is the most essential aspect for producing positivity and happiness in the mind. A grateful mind, you see, is always happy. A complaining mind is never happy, even if it has all the right things around it. So be grateful for every little bounty of your life, everything that has come into our lives and sweetened it. Be grateful. This is the way to develop love for God. Definitely.
Thank you.
Well, I know we can go on and on for more questions, and maybe Mataji, we can have you come back some other time when you're available, just for maybe like a Q&A session, because I think everybody so much appreciates it. But with our profound gratitude, I want to express our gratitude to you for just being present and being of service and sharing your wisdom so profoundly, abundantly. It's just it really is endearing to us. I think sometimes I ask myself not what I'm thinking, but what am I feeling after all this? What am I feeling? As Mataji was saying, the words get absorbed into the feelings, and then if we can poke a little bit deeper, the light that illumines those feelings, we can see all of that starting to experience. So I try to just feel, I feel profound gratitude, as was said. I feel profound, just I feel light. I feel a sense of just joy uh, of of your presence here today and of everybody else's presence. So I want to thank everyone for making this uh, tapping into tapping into Mataji's wisdom and bringing it out like the honey. We're all getting sharing of the honeycomb. And so with this being said, thank you so much. Hopefully, Mataji will see you again in some other time, not only the form, but also your. Thank you so much. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Paramastu.